I believe we are live, Moto.
All right, yep. Welcome everyone. Good evening. This is me, Moto. Joined in the com box with me tonight is ABD. Hello, ABD. How are you doing?
Moto, I'm good. I'm good. What about you?
All great, all great. And yeah, we are gonna go on board for Monaco Misery tonight. Monaco, I mean, the most technical circuit in the calendar. As Damon Hill once quoted, it's like riding a bicycle in your living room, such is the technicality required to dodge the apexes, dodge the barriers in this circuit. It's a very thin, very narrow circuit. So, yeah, Monaco Misery might as well explain you guys the event to all the viewers as well. It's going to be the format is going to be as follows. It's a one-shot qualifying followed by a 7-lap sprint race, and then after that we have a 25% race. So this is session one, which is the qualifying is going to be dry if I'm not wrong, and the 25% race, which is going to be 20 laps if I'm also not wrong,
Yes.
is
Yeah.
going to be wet. So yeah, everybody can just confirm if I got everything right there. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that's the format as follows. And yeah, ABD, what are your thoughts going into this one?
Right. So it's definitely going to be very hard for the drivers to stay on track and be alive. Look out for the faster drivers. The most important event of this session is going to be the one shot quali. That is where you cannot afford to mess your lap times because you're just going to fall back and probably the drivers are going to slow you down a bit. And eventually, you will lose a lot of time. So, just for the viewers to remind that this is the Regions Cup third edition, and this is our F122 second event that we are having today. The whole Regions Cup is divided into four regions, namely Southeast, Southwest, Central, and West. Yeah, so that's
Ye-
just to remind about Regions Cup. Yeah.
Yep, and yeah, I think before we start, we might as well, sorry if you've enabled that in the stream, have a look at the current standings of the regions as they stand, because we did have that Assetto Corsa time trial in midweek, which was at Bathurst in the Mitsubishi Evo car. So yeah, at some points in some regions have been changed. Okay, so I'm just getting the data that we don't have that. So we will be updating you regarding the standings in a short while, probably after the second session. But as it stands, I think from Hungary, the first F1 event, I think Central have a pretty sizable lead. But after the time trial event, I think one of the regions has sort of grasped its way back to the top. So yeah, it's a bit unknown right now, and it is going to help preserve the surprise when we reveal to you who's on top. But yeah, going into this again, let's talk a bit about the circuit because we barely race here in IRC. Like we have barely any races in the league on this circuit. I don't think we've had one since season 5, which is like 2.5 years ago now. So it's a bit of a new ground for these drivers. So what do you think is ABD is going to be the approach for most of the drivers right now today?
Yeah, so like I said, they cannot afford to, mess their lap in the OSQ, and of course the Park Ferme is going to be off, so they can try around with their setups for the OSQ sprint and race. Uh, I probably think the strategy is going to be interesting for sure because it's gonna depend on where you finish in the at the end of sprint race. So expecting a bit of uh, position changes soon after sprint race, and then that will definitely lead to the change in strategy as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, they say it's nigh on impossible to overtake at Monaco, but I believe in our drivers, and I believe that we might actually get a show tonight because
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
these drivers will always fight for position. It doesn't matter if they're racing in Monaco or in some gully; they'll always fight for position. It doesn't matter where the track is going or how it's going. It's all about racing over here at IRC, and yeah, it's going to be spicy. But I think we're getting ready for the one shot qualifying, which in my opinion is probably one of the hardest sessions of for tonight because if you ruin your lap, that's it. It's over. You just get one shot, as the name says, and if you ruin your lap, that's it. P20 for you or back of the grid. See how many attendees we have for tonight. But yeah, this session is going to be relatively integral for all these drivers to nail, but also not push completely as to invalidate and then end up with a disqualification and get put at the back of the grid, because track position is probably crucial at Monaco. The only circuit where I take track position over having a better car or better strategy, actually. So yeah, let's have a look and see how these drivers fare for this one-shot qualifying.
Yeah. So basically, we're waiting for the drivers to ready up, load their setups, and it's going to be a dry quali. Again, the time is going to be midnight. The safety car for the race will be turned off for the duration of 20 laps.
Yep, no safety car. That means these drivers have to be very careful and make the best of their moves, because there's not going to be a second chance. The damage as well setting has been reduced from what we normally follow at IRC. It's reduced and reduced
Yes,
just to
yes.
give just to give the drivers an extra buffer, an extra breathing room, if you will, as to not completely damage the car with a slight tap of the wall, because yeah, the walls are ever so close in the circuit, and you really have to be close to them to gain the most out of the lap. As 5 seconds left in the one-shot quali. Quick predictions, ABD. Who do you think is going to get pole?
It's definitely going to be interesting, but I do believe it should be Arathya. Let's see how it goes.
Yep. Into turn one, on board with SD now with Ritesh, and it's SD who's leading through turn one. SD is leading turn one. Ashley in P2, that's a surprise right there. Raj is sort of caught back in through Mirabo. Goes SD. He's got the line very nicely there, and it looks like a decent lap from the southeast driver right now. Radhya nowhere to be seen near the top. And yeah, Radhya's got a bit of a buffer ahead of him, but he needs to claw that lap time back. And SD is just so calm, so composed. He knows this track very well. He's a veteran of the game, and you can see him at play right now. Heading into the infamous Nouvelle chicane. Good line through there, gets the power down nice. Bit quickly on the exit, but in through Tebak, one of the fastest corners in the track. And yeah, he gets a good entry and exit through there. One retirement there in through Raskas. So easy to lock the tires here. It's in P, surprisingly in P2 there. Rather gets that P2 back, but SD, who's remained dominant in this entire lap, gets pole position here at Monaco with a lap which is, wow, that's 6 tenths quicker than P2. That's a great lap from SD right there. Wow.
Yep, that's a great laugh, and quite a few. There was a lot of changes in the positions during throughout the lap, and we can see that there's a southeast domination there. Five of the drivers in the top six position,
7
basically all
tenths.
five
Take a
of them.
bow. Yeah.
Yep, that's some domination there, and Mr. Raut did. Oh, Ashray did invalidate his lap, so
Ah,
that is probably
that.
where he lost the position. And he was doing very well until that happened.
Yep. Brilliant lap from SD there. Central, only one driver in P2. Rest all. I don't see anyone else from the central region, so that's a bit worrying for me, because yeah, Ritesh getting disqualification as well. Eitzel, another very good name there. Southeast, very dominant in this session. We've got good attendance as well, so yeah, a lot of points coming their way tonight. And yeah, it's like it's going to be a very interesting race. The start is going to be very crucial for Radhe, at least, because he knows he needs to get the move done into turn one, and he is on controller. So if you folks are familiar with the game, controller players are known to get a bit of a better start. So yeah, Abadi, what do you think? Do you think Radhe is going to capitalize on that advantage, or is he going to just sit back and take it safe?
Yeah, so I believe Aradia is going to be on the outside since it's
Hmm.
P2. So about the race start, yes, the controller is definitely going to have advantage. They both have the same assist restrictions, so that's kind of a tie. It's going to be 50-50. We did see SD, have quite a few off start, like not a good start. So I do believe that Aradia might just get ahead in just before turn one.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting there. And it'll be very nice to see if that happens because it'll give SD a challenge and a good show for tonight because it seems SD has bundles of pace over everyone else in the field right now. So yeah, this looks like it's going to be a very interesting prospect. Now heading into the session, this is getting a bit of a cool down for these drivers. They've just done one lap. Now they need to do 27 total laps more. In the dry, albeit. Or no, actually, 20 laps in the wet and then 7 laps in the dry. So, yeah, a lot of driving coming their way. And in a track like Monaco, this break is well deserved. But yeah, countdown timer has started. I think that might be early, everybody. What do you think? Is that an early ready up from someone?
It was a 1 minute break, and given that it was a dry OSQ and then followed by a sprint, I don't think there's going to be much changes. Probably just the
Hmm.
tire temps. So I think players should be ready.
Yep.
Yeah, over to you, Moto.
Yep. As you go, 5 lights are out. And we're underway as SD gets a bit squiggly on the start. There's Aradia with the controller advantage. Does he go around the outs? Oh my god. He's gone way too wide there, trying to give room to SD, and he's lost a position as well. That is disastrous for the central driver there. I don't quite know what happened. Just try to give a bit too much space, and yes, costed him quite dearly there. SD gets a 5 second penalty, corner cutting, gain an
Yeah,
advantage.
it
Did he
looked
cut the
like it.
corner?
Yes, yes. He didn't see Arabia. It was like he didn't know where the position was, and he did cut the corner. Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's going to
was.
be. Oh, there's a lot of pandemonium going on in the hairpin there. A bit of a kerfuffle between some drivers. Hopefully, everyone came out without any damage through there. But yeah, Radhe will be kicking himself for that start. Not the start he wanted at all. But yeah, now let's have a look and see if these drivers are ever so brave to go for a move as SSG gets very wayward coming through that chicane over there. Takes a wider line as the car behind, try to get a switchback exit, but it's so hard to do in the slow speed. And yeah, you can just see Dan just flies away and boots the power down on the exit. But yeah, great start. Look at that. How many? One, two, three, four, five drivers in the top six from Southeast. They're going to get a huge haul of points. Unless some disaster prevails their way. But yeah, no jinxes here in the com box. You're all unbiased. But yeah, a great start from SD. He's already 1.2 up ahead, and he's trying to. I can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to break free of that 5 second gap. And I think Dan. I think if Dan is smart enough, he should be backing up Aradia right now, so he can get rid of the 5 second what do you call penalty, which SD has right now, because that'll just help the region as a whole. So, do you think that that team game is going to be at play here, or do you think Dan is going to be a bit selfish and trying to go for the move, or trying to go for
I
the?
do believe they're up for the team game here because our aim was to the southeast aim was
Oh,
we have some.
oh,
I think that is and actually losing his career. Reset
that's
the
a
track
reset.
live caught by the southwest driver.
Caught in 4K indeed. That's a reset of track, and he's at the chicane, the apex at the back. Is he really pushing, punching above his weight right now? He's doing 12.4s right now. It's leaps and bounds quicker than everyone else in the session right now. So yeah, he's got bundles and bundles of pace. But yeah, Radha ever so close to Dan right now, and he's just hounding him. He wants to get the move done, but it's so hard in this circuit. You don't have enough track width to get a pass done. But it's down the inside, around the outside. There's just not enough room, and the last two corners are just so slow speed, so you can't really kind of get a switchback. So yeah, it looks like a bit of a stale showing right now for these boys because no one's really trying to go for any moves. But understandably, it is Monaco, and that's what Monaco will provide.
Yep,
As
bit of lock up for SSJ, and that was a near scare for Aradia. He might have yeeted him. Looks like I think Aradia's only chance is to just spam the ERS when he's in the DRS, and Just wait till SSJ runs out of his
Ooh.
DRS again, too close for comfort there, and the cap is already more than 3 seconds off to SD,
Oh,
going
it's
into the
quite
lap
close.
four.
It's quite close.
And yes, there
Ooh,
is
he
the
backs
spam, and
out.
he just not enough to make the move right there.
No,
And
save
SSJ
your
is going to take.
ERS. Save your ERS. I wish you could hear me right now, but yeah, he's trying to get the move done. But I understandably so. There are only 3 more laps left. So you know what? I actually the ERS spam will be useful right now because you don't want to be saving up too much that you have enough left in the bank and the race is over.
Right, but his bet to overtake him is just going to be in the DRS section, or probably just keep the pressure on continuously on SSJ and just hope that he makes some mistake
Yep,
somewhere.
absolutely. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Gets oh no, gets way too close to Dan, and that's a 3 seconds for Aradhya right there.
Yep,
And yep, that's
the
yeah,
race
that
turning from bad to worse just for him, and he might be losing 2 more positions because of the time penalty, and we are not sure if that is deserved or not. That is definitely up to stewards. Quite a few close battles going on for the West drivers. I'm pretty sure they're just keeping on with each other under the DRS, giving them the slipstream and stuff. I don't think they're gonna switch positions there in the middle pack, but I think we can still keep on back to Aradhya, or maybe simply yes, we can keep on simply. He's the driver of West,
yep,
trying to overtake Alex here.
yep, and you can see it's a bit stagnated right now. Not doesn't gets a horrible line through Mirabeau and loses out in the car in front. But yeah, he does seem to have the pace advantage with the car in front of him, and yeah, just can't quite find a way through. Monaco really proving a wall of sorts for these drivers to use the circuit to make a move, and oh, clatters the wall there. He's already got a bit of damage on his wing. If I can see that on his right end plate, it's a bit yellow, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that lack of downforce is certainly not helping him. And even with that damage, he's got the pace. Ooh, gets a brilliant exit, but gets blocked off by the car in front of him. Don't know why he didn't go more to the left there to try and overtake, but yeah, hopefully that's not more damage for that driver there. Ooh, someone's had a bit of an offing. That's Fuzzy Dunlop from the West region, spun around in the Nouvelle chicane, I think. Yeah, looks like SD is going to keep his win because 4.8 seconds right now, and it's not looking like it's going to go down. So,
Yep, as he's just creating a gap of almost a second per lap.
yep.
So that's just great driving and even great defending by SJ. Just driving it calm, not taking much pressure on himself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Radha still ever so hot behind. Ooh, gets a pretty bad exit through the exit of Portier though, and yeah, loses out to Dan in front. Further behind, let's have a look at the gap. Ooh, that's a corner cut. That's a warning as well. Getting taking too many liberties with the track, but understandably so. Only 1 more lap, so he might as well get the move done if he can and sort of eke out a gap to extend that 3 seconds from Eitzel behind. Because as of now, it's going to be a southeast domination with P1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and yeah, oh, and 5 going to southeast.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not looking great for any of the other regions, barring southeast right now.
Another central driver getting a 3 second penalty, and he's going to drop down by 3 more positions to P15. That is basically out of points, but moreover, he's going to lose some positions for the race, for the main race. Oh, some movement here, and Mamuka has been making the move done, and Mohan's car is ghosted for some reason, probably corner cut, or okay, there's some desync for both of them.
Yep, yep.
And eventually Mohan gets the position back, and he was out of the ERS. We are on board Arathia now into the final lap. We are just past the chicane here, and by looks like it, yeah, Arathia is going to drop down to P5 as of now. and SD is gonna win it. Can we go on board as SD is going to
Six
cross the
second
finish
gap in
line?
7 laps. Absolute domination from the Southeast driver there, and 5 seconds is nothing but a scratch to him because he retains that win in the sprint, but the race is yet to come, and we know the race is going to be wet. So, yeah, a lot to play for. A lot of changes in positions could be seen in the wet race because the weather is just going to add so much more danger on track. And yeah, furthermore, even accentuating how dangerous of a track Monaco is. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that. But yeah, full domination by Southeast Arabia does get P5. Region, he actually just a second behind Region, so he could have gone P4 as well. But yeah, domination by Southeast, 1, 2, 3, 4, great haul of points, and it's looking great for the full race as well.
Yeah, the positioning of the drivers are even better after Aradia got the 3 seconds time penalty. We have some news for Southwest. The driver of the day is Faizan for the sprint race, and it did look good for the Southwest region. Faizan getting that 1 point for their team. Alex getting P9, so that is not in the point zone. Can we get the race director Sai Tarun, if you have not skipped it? View.
But yeah, that's the sprint done. Pretty underwhelming race, if I'll be honest. But yeah, now we have the wet full 25% race. So yeah, Abdi, what are your thoughts? Do you think we're going to get some changes in the order, or do you think it's going to stagnate and remain the same as is? I'm talking about the top five, obviously.
Top five. That's a tricky question because these guys are the mixed. Like the lobby that we have is a bit mixed skill. The experience that Aradia has, I'm definitely vouching on him to get positions. Over to you, Moto.
Yep. 5 lights about to go out. It's going to be back to back here at Monaco. If we're going to get away, yep, we do get away. SD gets a decent start. So does Dan. So does Eitzel. And now they gets a good start as well, and he's up to P4 already. Great start by the Central Region driver there. And it's going to be, you can barely see the cars because of the spray on the track right now. Heading into the straight or the flat out section and into Mirabeau now. You can see Eitzel's got so much more confidence because of the medium traction. Ooh, rather gets a tank slapper there. Well held indeed. But yeah, SD, perfect start for him, and he's already pulled away a second and a bit. So yeah, great start from SD right now.
Yeah, not much for Jose Hero. He's dropped down to P7. FIFA Connect making the position up there. Great stuff in the middle pack of the grid as well. Ritesh has gone up to P12 there, and yeah, Simply and Faizan just holding that position P10 and 9 there.
Yep, yep. Ooh, daring a move into Nouvelle Chicane. The car ahead definitely cut the corner there, so that should be a warning for Jose, I think. But yeah, looks like a clean getaway. I tell you what, for most of these drivers, there's a bit of a gap in the mid pack. I can see it. There's a gap formed. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, very cleanly held by these drivers. So yeah, good to see that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're lucky that it's just the inters that they have to use. If it was a wet stint, it
Yep,
would have been even more difficult for them to keep the
yep.
car on track.
Absolutely, especially through the middle sector where, oh, now they get a tank, another huge tank slapper. Again, holds it very well, but yeah, he's lost a massive chunk of time to Itzel there. But yeah, it looks like Radha is just driving on ice right now. He's got no rear grip. He's just losing the back end all over and over again. So yeah, it looks like easy 1, 2, 3 for Southeast.
Yeah, it's a great thing that he kept the car without damage there. That's the most important thing. And I don't know if people can go for the no pit stop move here. I'm not sure if that is. Oh, actually, that is possible.
No, it is definitely possible, but the tire
Yeah,
wear will be massive actually.
yeah,
It'll be borderline puncture territory, so it'll be interesting to see if any of the drivers actually do get punctures, because yeah, that's always going to add to the spice, isn't it?
yep, definitely. Good to watch.
Yep. But yeah, things again have stagnated here in the streets of Monaco. Aradhya cutting that gap back instantaneously. It's already 5:10, only 5:10s behind. He was a second down. So yeah, good pace and good recovery from the central driver there. But can he get the move done? Is the question we all need to know. He gets a beautiful line through turn one, absolutely stuck to the bumper, to the rear diffuser of Edsel there, and yeah, he looks like he's got bundles of pace, but just doesn't have the consistency or the confidence to push that car just a bit more to get the move done. As he makes his way through the slowest corner on the grid, almost eyeing for a move around the outside there. Yeah, Eitzel's doing a great job of holding him up. Gets another tank slapper, well held again. Fourth gear on the exit, fifth. Short shifting to fifth out of there. These drivers are really having to use low revs to keep the car on track in Monaco in these conditions. But yeah, it looks like SD does not have the pace which he showed in the sprint. He's 1.5 ahead of Dan, but that gap isn't going up as I thought it would.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. By looks of it, the water has increased. The rain has also increased. I'm not
Oh.
sure if the weather is changing towards the wet compound there, but yeah, there's a lot of water spraying on the screen.
Interesting, interesting indeed. Tell you what, if it's full wets, and if I was driving right now, I would not pit. I would just take track position any day over this, over the wet tires right now. But simply very close to the back of Alex there, but yeah, gets tracked back and he's 8 tenths behind Aradhya, 5 tenths behind Eitzel, 4 tenths behind Dan, and yeah, the Southeast boys are being a good barricade for Aradhya, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating if I'll be honest, because this circuit is just so bad for racing. It's just you can just park your car in the right position and that's it. You're a perfect blockade for the car in front, for the car behind, and yeah, it just draws away from any excitement that you would expect. Even though I did say like the IRC boys are very feisty and they would go for the moves, but yeah, it's a bit too harsh, the circuit, for any prospect of racing. And I think what would have been better if it was a short qualifying. That would have been a better prospect, or rather full qualifying in Monaco as well, because it is a qualifying circuit through and through. I mean, you have these narrow streets. It's about pushing the car, pushing the suspension to the limit, and it's definitely not a racing track. So it's a bit of a puzzling decision as why we decided to race here, because yeah, it's just going to be a parade throughout the end till the end now.
Yeah, that's a very good point that you brought up. The full quali would be very interesting to see, because the drivers on the hot lap, out lap are gonna have to give the space to the
Oh
drivers
yeah,
on the. That's just
that
gonna
would
be
be more
more
exciting to watch than the race itself.
definitely.
'Cause-
We have first yellow flag at the sector 3. I believe that is Mr. Raut who has spun there. Uh, no wing damage, so we're good to go. He keeps his car safe. We can go back to, let's see who, if there is any battle existing. Up, we can go on board Arabia, who is giving all the best he can actually to be right behind Itzel, just waiting for him to make a mistake so that he can go back. Meanwhile, SG is not able to create much for the gap. So as soon as Aradia has crossed these guys, he's just going to be right behind SD. And
Ooh, that's going to be some damage for Adya. If it's going to update on the telemetry shortly, yeah, I can see it. He's got some damage on his wing.
like, yeah.
Yep, yep. and that's going to give him chronic, not chronic understeer, but yeah, you don't want any understeer in Monaco. It's a very front end dependent circuit, so uh, there's some echo coming through someone's mic.
Oh, is it my okay?
Yeah, it might be yours. Well, getting on board back with Aradhya, he's again just a second behind behind Etzel, and can't quite make his way through. If I were him right now, what I would do is just hang back and preserve my tires, because if these guys are no stopping, which I think they most probably will. This is another yellow flag. Someone's gone spun out there. That's Region. Yeah, Region has spun out in the Nouvelle chicane. So, yeah, not great, but it's all good. He still gets P6, and yeah, it's not the end of the world for him. FIFA Canuck doing very well for the West region up there in P5. New to the game, and he's been practicing quite a bit lately, and yeah, it shows right now. If he's P5 in this lobby, then yeah, it shows that he's really come a long way where he started from. Heading on back with Faizan. 3 tenths gap as I would like to welcome Ink to the combox. What is up?
Hello, I'm replacing ABD here. He's a bit involved with the coordination
Someone
stuff.
involved in an incident at turn 1. Can we go on board Ashray or simply is it? Can we check?
Must have been simply.
Yeah, it's Ashray. It's Ashray. He has lost his left wing. It's a bit orange. It looked like he just went straight over there in the mini map.
Another incident there.
Yeah.
I think he's struggling. He fell off quite massively from Ritesh. I think he was behind Simply. I think something happened between the besties Simply and Ashtray. I think definitely.
Clash with
Last time I saw, Simply and Ashtray were behind each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
slapper, or Dan gets a huge tank slapper. Radha gets another 3 seconds. Dan has a 3 second as well. And hey, Radha is getting backed up. Eitz is getting backed up into Radha by Dan. Hopefully, Radha can get a decent exit and go for the move right now. But yeah, he's just lost out again, and yeah, the gap's stagnated back to 5 tenths.
I like the Eitzel drift which he did.
It looked like Eitzel had a very great lap till that happened because he was on a green sector 2 and a purple sector 1.
Yeah.
But he did lose quite a lot of time in the.
That is definitely a front wing damage for.
He's already got.
He does have a small tap on his right wing, I believe. Yeah.
Can we go on board SSG and check if he has damage? I think he had hit the wall massively. Yes, a bit on the left.
Yeah. So now Eitzel is going to be the rear gunner for Dan and back up Aradhya because Dan will have little to no pace right now. Because of the understeer, there's been an incident in the tunnel, I think. Or no, that's. Where is that?
In sector 1.
Sector 1, yeah. But it's green now, so should be fine.
I think it's time for SSH to give the position to Eitzel. He's just slowing him down. I'm not sure what their strategy is right now. Even
so where do you give the position in the circuit? Like,
that's
where do you do that? And with the gap so close, it's a bit of a risky venture trying to slow down because the Radhik will just pounce on that opportunity. Dan locks up into Raskas. He goes very wide. Yeah, and he's struggling to keep the car on the circuit right now.
I think SD has pulled off a massive gap now. I think the SSJ incident helped him a bit also.
Yep. And it's going to keep increasing at least a second per lap. Probably not a second, but like 5 tenths per lap minimum because damage is not something you want in a circuit like Monaco.
Yeah, and I think answering your question more too, I think we like SSJ can let through Eitzel at any breaking point. Like he should have to lift off and then cover the inside. Then Eitzel can.
So they're trying to go around the outside of the chicane. He's been He's been very quick through that. Through the hairpin. He's been very quick through there, but doesn't quite have the traction. But neither does Eitzel, and this might be a good chance for Radha to send one down the inside.
Will he be sending it down the inside here? Nope.
No, he backs out.
Yeah.
Backs. Oh, but Eitzel locks up. Eitzel locks up.
And that's a time penalty for Eitzel. He's struggling massively with the traction now. Side by side, Eitzel and Aradhya, they touch.
Oh,
Is there damage for Aradhya? No, they're still side by side.
well held.
Lovely
well
bat,
held.
lovely bat.
Brilliant battle there between these two, and yeah, keeping it on track in the wet through that corner, side by side.
Yeah, it's a great stuff without touching the walls also. Given
Without touching the walls, without touching each other as well. Or maybe there's one or two taps.
Yeah,
there.
there were a few touches there.
Yeah. All in good jest, I presume. But yeah, great action there, and probably the only action we'll get from tonight's race.
I think Mohan and Mamu are having a fight at P13 and 14. That is the only close gap I can see apart from Eitzel and.
But tell you what, don't you think Eitzel should have given that move, given that position to Radha since he cut the corner?
I mean, technically yes, but
Look like he got a tap from Aradhya.
Yes,
It
yes,
looked like he
definitely,
got a bit of
definitely,
tap from
definitely.
Yeah.
That's
was very
a bit
scary.
arguable because he did get the 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner and he was leading that.
I mean, talking from the commentator perspective, you should. that place should be given,
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
regardless of what the game gives. But I think P2, 3, and 4 are struggling massively in this condition.
Yup. SG is just having the time of his life. It's a Sunday drive for him.
You never know, actually. There's only halfway through now.
I don't think SD is the one gaining time. It's like Eitzel and the guys are like.
Yeah, that's obvious. But yeah, he's just relaxing it.
Yeah.
And it's when you just relax and drive at Monaco, you get into this sort of a fugue state where you just know the track very well and you can just keep lapping, doing laps after laps, and yeah, it's he's developed a rhythm right now. So he's pretty much like home free right now.
We can see they're all like right back behind of SSJ, trying to make
This
pressure
is a
in.
position as well, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I think
oh no, another tap. Is that going to update on the telemetry? It does not, or does it? I don't know if he's got damages.
Actually has
That is
retired.
actually with TNF.
I think he has retired in sector 3. Oh yes.
Yeah, he's done the
Infraction.
Max Verstappen, I think. Or he's done a Charles Leclerc.
He got the curb. Now
Well,
is the
he-
moment of truth. 10 laps into the race, we have to see if the drivers are going to pit for the fresh enters or if they want to try to finish on this.
I mean,
Yeah.
looking at the tire life so far, it seems that the tires aren't
fine.
too much worn for
Maybe
everyone.
on the 25%.
I'd say,
Maximum, if I'm not
30,
mistaken.
No,
yeah.
definitely more than 25, around
I think it
30,
should be
40.
35, yeah.
Yeah, 35, 40-ish.
I
Jose
think
Heroes
that
dropped a
makes
position
sense.
twice, and has
Yeah.
something gone on between those two?
I mean, that's an obviously
Yes, definitely. Already I won.
Possibility. Ooh,
Yeah.
trying to go for a move on Alex, hits the wall at the back, and that's
And there
more
we go.
damage to-
Jose and Faizan have switched back again.
Oh,
What
the
is
position-
happening? Moto,
What
you're
is
getting,
happening?
you're
I
getting
think
more
we
than
might as
action
well
you
just
need.
stick with this pack now because this is where all
Yeah.
the action is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So the two of the Southwest boys back to back since the start of the sprint actually saw Faizan and Alex right behind Jose Hero, who has the time penalty I believe of 3 seconds, and I do believe they're just gonna stick behind him. And he makes another mistake.
There's a very large gap between Jose and Regin. I think Jose might
Oh,
be
side by side, Aradhya goes around the outside. Does he manage to get the move done? SSG
my
blocks that off very well, and
that's
he's about to lose a position to FIFA Kanak as well. Oh, that's pandemonium happening at the hairpin again there, and yeah, again, not quite the right racecraft shown by the central driver there, losing one position more. And this is a dream scenario for Dan because he has a perfect gap. He's got a driver in front of, between him and Kanak between him and Aradhya right now.
Yeah, this definitely indicates that the pack is, joining to the train that SSJ has created or keeping up with. They did switch, the SSJ and Eitzel have switched over, and we can see that Eitzel is already way ahead of it. A lot of drivers having the time penalty, but the the best advantage is for the FIFA Canuck, that is he doesn't have any penalty and
Yep.
he's definitely on the podium for now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, there
And
we go. April has
it's
left the session.
What?
yes,
has
it's left the
disconnected.
session.
Oh no.
Is gonna cost him some time. Now is the time for
Yep.
SSJ to
It's going to
defend
cost him
for
a
his
huge
life.
time, bro. Huge time. The AI is very, very slow. I think SJ will overtake him by
Yep.
the end of next
I
lap.
think the air is very slow in Monaco, especially.
What is happening to Southeast? But still, I think they're in a very great position. Oh, that's another.
FIFA Kanak almost rear. You know what? I don't blame these drivers for like rear-ending. What do you call Dan? Because he's just going so slow through these corners because of the damage. So, yeah, it's a bit of a tough call, but yeah, it seems just like a few racing incidents here and there. No one's on the offense over here, but yeah, as Eitzel is going to lose a lot of time. Ooh, Radhya getting very close to the rear.
That
I
was a
think
bit too
Radhya
much.
might be losing his cool right now,
Yes,
considering he's not had the best of races so far.
I mean, knowing him, I know he's shouting at home right now. Like, please, what are you doing? Something like that.
Yeah, come on, keep it cool. Oh, great drift there. Narrowly misses the wall, the barrier on the left. But yeah, good display of rally driving from the central driver right there. Eitzel, has he reconnected? Dan
Yeah.
is catching him back. No, he's not. He's not reconnected
He's
yet.
not, but we do have an update that it should be in the lobby within a minute. We have a
Yep.
yellow flag in sector 1,
Sector,
and that's the
that is,
car.
yeah, sector 1.
West
Why
car
is
that
that?
is on. I believe it's simply again
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, difficult to track with the colors that they have. Still, there's a quite a bit of gap, like 6 seconds still off to Eitzel. So I think they're good as of now. I think Eitzel should be joining back till then. And the tires are definitely degrading. We can see the color change. It's going to be really.
it's
interesting to see how it's
joined
possible now.
back. Finally.
Eitzel has joined back. It's good days for Southeast.
I think there's a big Alonso train from SSJ, you know. I
Yep.
think
Yeah.
five drivers or three drivers. Three drivers are there.
Yeah.
Then again from Jose, those also that also three drivers.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
then,
Oh my god. What a save. What a save indeed.
oh my god. Okay, I think it's the internet.
No, I can see
I
him
doubt
counter
it.
steering though, so it's not only internet.
He's pushing crazy. He's pushing
Yeah,
really
he's
mad.
pushing crazy. He's trying to get the move done. Come on, Aradhya, I believe in you. Just send it down the inside.
The captain sends his instructions.
Indeed. But yeah, it's happy days for Eitzel as he's joined back. But Dan putting the drive for his life right now. Easily the driver of the day so far, because yeah, defending with a broken wing over here is just so hard. But yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it. And look at him wide ever as the stream has paused. Oh, there we go. We catch back up. And yeah, Dan just has survived 5 more laps and he's home free.
And we have James Robin in the YouTube chat asking for us
Oh.
to show the penalties.
Yep.
Yeah,
And if
can
you
we
can do
go-
that, please. Yes.
Yeah,
There you go,
everybody
James.
has 3 seconds time
Yeah.
penalty. Whoever does have that icon there.
Tell you what, FIFA kind of got a great exit.
SSG. Oh. Go on. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, what do you call it? Kanak got a great exit at coming out of Portier, but he couldn't quite get the move done in the tunnel because, yeah, just not enough straight line speed in these conditions. But yeah, he does look like the quicker driver by far, and it's just a matter of getting the right exit out of these crucial corners, especially this one. But again, in the wet, it's just so hard to put the power down, and especially when you're behind the dirty air of another car in front. So just biding his time, and yeah.
Sai, can we have the telemetry up, the in-game telemetry?
Oh yeah, we haven't had
Just to
that.
see if the IRS percentage. Yeah.
Yep. Better late than never, Sai. And yeah, we can see FIFA Kanak at 30% of ERS. He's preserved that. Let's have a look at Dan. Dan will be on the same amount as well. So yeah, happy days for both these drivers, and it's a bit of a stagnation train forming here. So I
Actually,
don't.
Aradia has a quite a bit of wear on his front. Like if you see other
Yeah,
drivers, they have the more wear on the rears
that is
than
down to controller and driving style.
right.
He's known to really, have
Push.
very aggressive movements on the joystick. From what I've seen, if you look at Dan, who also uses a controller, his front tires aren't that badly worn compared to Aradhya.
Yeah, that's
Actually, I
what
tell you
they are
what they are.
difficult.
Never mind, they are
Somewhat
pretty.
same.
So even SSJ is trying his hard, but it's probably with the damage. That's because of the damage wing that he has. Faizan has got a 3 second time penalty, so there is no more advantage over Jose Hero for him.
Region's
Even
gonna get
if he has,
P5 as well. Back to P5 from
yeah,
yeah.
But you know what? If one driver makes a mistake in this train, no, the whole train is fucked up. I mean, like, it will get screwed up.
Oh, almost going for the
uh,
lunge there. Very audacious, but the corner just closed in on him and he ran out of racing room. Very smart decision to back out of that. Yeah, he's shown some very sensible racecraft as FIFA Kanak right now. And I tell you what, I predict that he will get the move done before lap 9, before lap 20. What do you guys say?
I say the otherwise, actually. I don't think SSJ, I know SSJ. He's a good defender.
Oh,
And
it's
Itzel has disconnected again.
Yep, but he's got
Please
enough
get
of
us
a
an
gap.
update.
He's got enough
Yeah.
of a gap. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. SD can also pit and get the fastest lap if he wants. He has almost that
yeah, can
gap
we go
now.
on board? Oh, Aradhya gets another 3 second time penalty. I
Ay,
think that
ay,
is
ay.
no, that's not more damage done. So Rijin is in the safe bet, like he can definitely get the 3 second without any harm. Can we go on board SD for just 1 second just to see how he is doing? Yeah, his tire looks very good. He does have
Yeah.
ERS 60%. He has the
He
steering
has
wheel.
lap
He's gonna
fuzzy done
lap
now, officially.
someone.
And
Who
Lap
is
that
that?
is
someone.
Faizan?
Lap.
Fuzzy Dunlap. And that is some
Fuzzy
good,
Dunlap.
good thing from Fuzzy. He did not hold up the driver,
Yeah.
you know. Good,
Yep.
good. That is what he do.
Definitely. And yeah, smart decision there. But back to Kanak. Tell you what, Kanak doesn't need to make the move because he's going to get the position either way because of penalties. D- yeah. So I don't think it's going to matter too much. But yeah, I might as well just send it,
No. I think RD will be pressuring him, because ABD there's a echo going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think RD Gupta knowing him, he's a very aggressive driver, especially when he's behind you. He tries to
Yeah.
send it down the
Yep.
inside in every
Yeah.
corner possible. So I think from that pressure, FIFA Kanak might be prone to, make a mistake or try to take.
Even if he does, even if Razia does, he's got 6 seconds of penalties. I don't think it's going to do him any favors because he's not going to pull away 6 seconds in 2 laps. He's not Senna. No one is right now. So
I mean, SD is kind of like.
SG is, yeah. SG would be the closest to Senna right now, by the way he's driven so well and such a cool head he's kept. But yeah, looks like it's going to be good, happy days here at Monaco for the Southeast region, getting a great haul of points. Almost 60 points, that is. Not 60, 50
I mean, like
something.
that has been the summary of Southeast. They come up with 300 people for five drivers. They score. They're a good talented bunch also. Logesh, Rijin, you name it, and they're very good. Tier 1, Tier 2 pace easily, and they're good. They're at the top. They're scoring points. I think it's their title to lose if they lose. That is, I think, and the only a competitor for them is Central. I mean, you guys are there. Oh, you
But
have
we don't
OP
have
drivers.
enough people.
See,
That's the only issue.
I mean, combining both of you, we are the opposites. We don't have the good people available right now from our lineup, as well as we don't have the people at all.
Absolutely. I would take more people, more decent people than just 3 very good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that balance needs to be maintained, and right now it's just 3 drivers at best in F1 who are fast in our region. So yeah, it's things like that. Southeast is just I mean, people weren't saying it. Everyone was saying Central is. I mean, mostly down to the Vleesh that was, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be a very close battle between Southeast and Central in the Regions Cup. What do you think?
Same thing, because I think you guys are differentiated by 20 points or something by now. From the math I did. Correct me
Here we
if I'm
go.
mistaken.
Last lap for these guys starting right now. FIFA Kanak has nothing to lose right now. He just wants the respect of getting a move done in Monaco, of being the only one. Well, not the only one, but like one of the top runners to get a move done, a clean move done in this tight, narrow circuit. Is he going to do it? Let's go on board him around a lap in the streets of Monaco under the midnight moon. Heading into Mirabeau, gets a nice line through there early on the power, not choosing to avoid the tree route on the left there, even though that'll cost him time as the car will bottom out into the slowest corner on the calendar. 40 Ks you managed through here, and he's just not able to find the right exit. Come on, get the nice exit, Kanak, you can do it. And he does not get the power down early enough, and Dan just pulls away on the
Will he
straight.
be sending it on the inside? Yeah. No,
Nah,
no.
he's
I think it's
way
too
too
far.
far-
Too far.
too far
I think he
back.
lost on the thing traction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no! That's a mistake from FIFA Kanak. And Rijin goes through.
Vision goes through,
Oh, he's
Aradhya goes
getting-
through, but yeah, it won't be 6 seconds worth of distance. So,
Oh,
but-
damage. I think SD has finished the race.
yeah, SD has finished
GG's
the
to
race.
him.
He's, yeah, congrats to SD. Dominant drive, 14.6 seconds lead there for the Southeast driver. Aradhya in P4, Kanak in P6 will.
Oh my
no!
That's a big mistake. That's going to cost
That's
him a
a
lot of
massive
points.
mistake for Kanak, and yeah,
And Will,
that's
okay,
a
I think
big,
Jose
big
is too
mistake.
far away behind to, catch him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
Aradhya
lost out
gets
by 2
P5.
seconds. Oh, side by side through the finish line.
Oh,
Who are they?
who's that?
Simply... Okay,
Jose
that is
and
Alex.
Simply.
Alex and Jose. Yes,
Alex
good,
and
good
Jose.
racing.
Oh,
Good fun.
we missed that.
I want to see.
that
I
was
wanted to see how they went side by side to the final
Yeah,
corner.
yeah. Oh my God, side by side across the finish in Monaco. Ooh. Have to have a look at that later on in the replays. But yeah, that's it for the race. Just Mamu's left to finish. One DNF in the form of Ashley. But yeah, very surprising. Only one DNF in the streets of Monaco. Very, very nice indeed. And Southeast, absolute pandemonium on the streets of Monaco, getting a huge haul of points and good, happy days for them.
Yeah, but top 4 southeast, and then comes Saradhika Gupta from central. So you know how the race went.
Yeah.
Well, good racecraft from all of them.
Just
They're
take
good
over for a
fights.
few minutes. I'll just
Okay. It is good racing from everyone here. Like good racecraft, good side by side racing. I mean, there are a few wall riding, etc. going on, but good display of racing from everyone. And let us check if we have anything from the YouTube chat. Nope. And as we have SG celebrating the win, I think almost 20 seconds of win he's getting. Sai Tarun, if you can please, run down the grid as well as race director. Yep, I think that is like 2,000 points for Southeast now. I think this will be a defining moment in the Regions Cup Season 3. Let us see what other teams or regions will be coming up, planning at least for the next event. And next we have same format, but the weather will be reversed. So it will be wet qualifying and sprint. Then we'll have the dry race. So I think we'll have around 15 drivers participating in the next event. Let's all wait and see who will be racing and what will happen, and if they'll bring the show this much level of racing into the next session. P1 SD, P2 8SIL, P3 Region, P4 SSG, all from Southeast. P5 Aradhya, P6 FIFA Kanak, 7 Alex, 8 Jose, 9 Simply, 10 Faizan, Ritesh 11, Mamu P12, Mohan P13, 14 is Mr. Raut, 15 is Fuzzy Dunlap, 16 is Ashay in the form of DNF, and that is the grid for tonight. I think, sorry, on the grid, the results for tonight. Yep, as now we will wait for the next lobby to be up. And Moto, are you back?
Hello, are we live?
We are still live. Yes.
Okay. What's the status, boys? We're waiting for the next session.
Yep. We are waiting for the next session from the coordinator team as well as the comms.
Alrighty. Commentators will be here in a bit. So in the meantime, Ink, let us actually, since I was in the race, let
Yeah.
us know what all you witnessed here, especially since I was holding up entire pack behind me. I'm pretty sure.
You had the Alonso train. Yes.
Yes, I defended like a lion.
Yes.
Although there
indeed.
were a few sketchy moments from my side, because I'm it's controller tracks. Plus, I'm really bad at this track.
No, you did good though. You P2, it's a great from a pad perspective. You defined nicely, and then there are two other trains of 3 people. I think Faizan, Alex, and I think it was Joe Zero, if I'm not mistaken, and then Mamu and someone else in P14-15 region. There's only one DNF from Ashray, and
Yes.
people started making the what do you call the errors started kicking in after lap 14 from all of you. There are a few disconnects from Eitzel as well. If he's here, he can speak. No, he lives in here. We see. And that is good racing. There are a few side by side moments, and there's like 4 to finish in the between Alex and it was Joe Zero. They were side by side to the finish line.
Yeah,
You can
I
go
was
to the
VC then.
Yeah,
I was
it
the
is good.
VC when they were telling Jose to spam ERS.
But they're all shouting.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah,
shouting would be an understatement.
Are we
No, we're
muted?
not. We're live, Mamu.
Oh,
Welcome
nice.
to the Combox.
Hello.
Welcome, Mamu.
Yeah, it's a good stage to make your debut into the Combox, Mamu. How are you doing? Please tell us a bit about yourself.
Mamu.
Mamu.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, as we welcome Simply Whitey also.
Hello.
Hello, Simply.
Wait, what did you say, SJ? I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, we were just telling you that it's a good stage to make your debut. So also was asking you to give us a brief introduction about yourself.
What to introduce myself as to? I just did a race. I'm mentally tired with Monaco.
Oh, right.
That was
sorry.
hectic. The wet race was hectic.
Yeah, my knuckles are very sore from
My hands are
all that
sweaty.
defending.
Fending.
Yeah, I was holding on to dear life due to
Aren't we all?
man, FIFA Kanak and Aradhya were on my tail at all the time. Like I didn't have any pace at all.
But
So,
FIFA made a
all
very
my
big
tail.
mistake in the last lap. Like crazy. That costed him like 3 places. In the
Yeah,
last corner and the swimming pool section as well.
Apparently, it was due to contact with Aradhya. I mean, at least that's what he claimed. I mean, Aradhya himself apologized. So we'll have to take a look at the replays to get a good get good evidence for that. Anyway, I will leave it to you, Mamu, and Simply. Please carry the comm box.
Thank you.
Okay, I think Simply Whitey just left.
I think
then-
he's back to some other channel. But yeah, how is everyone doing?
All good. Congrats on the race win.
Thank you so much. Yeah, difficult race with the greasy conditions. Then, yeah, there were a lot of shenanigans back. I think there's a lot of contacts that took place. But yeah, how was the race from the spectator point of view to whoever was here that time?
I think it was Moto and ABD, but they left.
Sai, are you there?
Sorry. Yeah, Sai is muted right now. He won't be able to talk. I think too much background noise from his end. So yeah, it's better that he doesn't talk actually.
That's fine.
Yeah. or yeah, it's gonna be pain for the listeners, the viewers. Sorry. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I hope the next session is up.
The
Should
people
be
are
up,
joining in. So we'll join.
yeah, so it's gonna be a while before the next everybody joins in. So SD, how are you feeling after that win? Must be feeling
The
excited.
first thing is tiring because you have to have utmost concentration while driving Monaco. Plus, I was at the luxury of not having anyone on my tail for the majority of the race, for the 25% race, that is. But yeah, a bit of Cody's, threw some shade when the first second penalty for illegal overtake on turn one. I don't know what happened there in the sprint race, but yeah, after that it was quite, simple. But I guess the lobby was not, except Aditya and my own region members. I don't think there were any people who had a clean session. So yeah, it was quite smooth at the end of the race.
And look at the positives. Not many DNFs at Monaco in wets.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight that
Yeah.
when someone mentioned it earlier last time. It's actually quite a surprise. I expected at least half of the grid to be wiped out.
But
But
people
yeah.
took it seriously as they should have.
Yes, that's actually.
Everyone did their best, of course. Given the rain, people took it a little cautiously. But I think now that it's going to be a dry session for the person, will be having much more carnage. But I hope that it's everyone like gets away with the race smoothly.
I still feel a little bad about holding up so many drivers. Yeah, welcome for that SD and Etzel. Especially the fastest man from the central region. He was quite on the pace, but due to my brave Alonso defending, yeah, I wouldn't call brave, but yeah, there were a lot of sketchy moments.
Yeah, there were a lot of internal battles going on in the session, holding up Aradhi. And let's say a little bit of swap here and there. But yeah, I think Southeast played really well. If I say so about myself and the region, but yeah, I think biggest positive out of there, one region that is Southeast scoring really good amount of points there. It's a little sad to see that the others couldn't make it due to other commitments that they have or not available at this time. But it would have been much better if we had, let's say, equal participation from each region.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we did have a few drivers drop out at the last minute due to, like you said, real life commitments. But that's fine. They get they get an extra session for the relay race, which will happen next week on Sunday. So yeah, it's not exactly a a bad situation for those who missed out today.
Yep, definitely.
I'm pretty sure the relay race will have much. I hope the relay races have better conditions to race in, and a much easier track to race on. Every track is much easier when compared to Monaco and wets.
Yeah, you'll get to know on Monday. As the viewers as well, you get to know on our Instagram, other social media platforms, what tracks will be racing, what the format will be. But of course, relay races, of course, people understand the general what it's going to be, but there are a bit of surprises coming in.
Yeah, even I have a fair idea of what the relay race's format might be, but yeah, the news hasn't been revealed to us yet. So yeah, we are clutching on. We are clutching our hearts for hoping that it'll be a much easier, smoother sailing for everyone.
Definitely. And on that note, I'm just gonna but on that note, I've been summoned in some other voice channel. But yeah, I hope the session, whoever is here, whoever is commentating and spectating, that everyone has a good race. And I'll see you guys probably at the end of session 2, and probably will help you out there. Yeah, I'll see you all a bit later.
All the
Thank
best
you
for your
for
session.
joining us. Yeah.
All right.
Welcome back, Simply YT.
Thank you for having
I
me.
hope you can take it
yet
over
again.
from here.
I believe so. Yeah, that is, if everything goes well. Yeah, thank you for everyone for filling in. And yeah, that race from my perspective, for anyone who wonders how it went as from a driver's perspective, very frustrating. I was stuck behind Alex and Faizan. Bit of dodgy driving from the both of them. but it is all part and parcel of Monaco. And yeah, I was stuck there. Unfortunate. At the end, I got P9. But yeah, hopefully next week we'll do better. But yeah, solid points for my region as well, West. And yeah, coming back to uh,
But then
session
the session
2.
was something different. Everyone was focused like never before.
Yeah, everyone was focused, all quiet in VC. It was entertaining for sure. But yeah, I've just realized that is me on the thumbnail as well, on the curb. That's a nice screenshot that they've taken. But yeah, that's me on the curb. Luckily, I did not take a similar curb on in this race, because that would mean my car would have bottomed out. But yeah, very, very tricky race, especially there were 20 laps in the wet. Hands were sweating. It was a race of full-on concentration. And yeah, it was quite a bit tricky. And Faizan's in the chat simply talking about dodgy driving. Yeah, mate. Yes. I won't comment now, but yeah. Tell us, Mamu, what are your predictions for this session 2? Because there's a lot more experienced drivers in session 2, so perhaps, although of course can't really pass people in Monaco, but perhaps do you think that these even faster and even more skillful drivers will be able to perhaps change the way of Monaco?
According to the experience that we've had, I think quali is the most important part of the race. You can't mess up the quali on this track.
Indeed.
The overtaking is so difficult on this track.
Yep. Overtaking is
Even-
quite difficult.
Even if the driver ahead of you has damage, he can slow you down, but you can't overtake unless he makes a major mistake.
I mean, I guess that is what I think a few drivers were facing from what I was hearing in the race, where the driver ahead had damage, but then of course they couldn't pass the driver ahead who did have damage, because again there is no space.
Teams will have tactics like that.
Yeah, teams do have tactics like that, dodgy tactics. But yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is all team game and not a personal sort of game, so it's
Points for
fine.
the team.
Yeah, but then again, quite a few, I think, incidents. So for now,
We'll find out. We'll
take
find
these
out in
with
the
a grain of
reports.
salt. Yeah, take these with a grain of salt. I mean, there are no time penalties, although you do lose points for your team in the standing. So it is crucial that you don't get into incidents. But then again, it's Monaco, so you can't. Sometimes you just can't avoid incidents, and yeah, unfortunately, a few drivers getting damaged. But we'll see how many points which region loses after the verdicts come out. But for now, we're just waiting on second session to get going. I believe a few of the drivers are facing some issues. So that's why, we have held back on it. Again, F1 game. Doing the regular F1 game things where
Cody's being
properly.
Cody's.
Indeed, Cody's being Cody's. And I did want to mention something, but I guess that would get the stream put down, so I cannot say that again. But yeah, Cody's being Cody's is a great, what can I say, shorter way of saying what I want to say, indeed.
Yeah, better keep it that way.
And yeah.
Yep. So let's take this opportunity to welcome Alex also into the comm box, who's also making his debut into the comm box. So hi Alex, how are you doing, man?
Hello, SJ. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here.
So how are you doing,
So,
buddy?
Alex.
Race was simply good battle.
Amazing battle, Alex. Yep.
Oh,
Only if the track was
All-
wider, or if we were in
Yes.
Formula E cars, we could have gone side by side.
Two sprint through the race. Always it was just me and
Yeah.
him, front and back, front and back.
Surprisingly, I mean, in the sprint, of course, I don't know if it was there on the stream or not, because I wasn't there in the stream box, but there was a lot of lag. And so I did have a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
opportunities where I could size up Mo and Alex, but then as soon as I went to do that, boom, lag.
And
His
there
car
were
would
quite
be
a
like
few
Yeah,
so
desync
far ahead.
moments.
I
Yes.
had the
And then,
same thing. There
yeah,
was
and
a
then he would
desync in
suddenly
the
come back.
sprint.
Yeah, so that was a bit dodgy, but at the end of the day, it's fine. I mean, you guys got to see an amazing. I think you guys got to see an amazing battle between me and Alex, Faizan, and towards the end there was Jose,
Ah,
Hero,
yes.
Region, and all of the other
Jose,
drivers in the mix as well.
Aizen did a great job there. We held up Jose enough to get me within 3 seconds of him. He had that penalty as well, right? So
He got
uh,
6 seconds at the end, but I think
yeah,
the ready up
no,
message
no,
is out.
okay.
And I think we'll be moving to the race itself shortly. Again, it's the same format as before, where it is an OSQ followed by a sprint race, which will yet again be 7 laps, followed by a 25% race. But here in the previous session, we had a dry, wet. And now the drivers will have to face a dry one-shot qualifying, a wet one-shot qualifying, a wet sprint race, and then a dry race. So it will be crucial for the drivers to ensure that they can keep it on the track in the sprint race and get a good qualifying position as well. Because if not, then they could lose out in the dry. And by the looks of it, yep, still enters rain, not wet.
Personally, I think the dry race is going to be more carnage than the inters race.
Starting position would
Fully
be
agree.
the starting position would be very important for sure.
Indeed, it is.
So
And as
qualify
I just
well, hold your position in sprint, and then keep it safe on turn one, basically.
keeping it safe, as Mamu mentioned, that it's very important to keep it clean into turn one, because if you don't, then of course you could you could get a lot of damage. You could even retire from this race, which is the last thing you want to do when you're trying
And
to gain a
and
lot
for the
of points
viewers,
for your region.
the safety car is off. So
Safety car is off.
keeping
Yep,
it
just
clean
another
is
reminder.
quite important.
Indeed, and as it is a 1 minute wait for the drivers to load up their setups and change their fuels, there will be a lot of chaos in the VC, because I believe some drivers have not practiced due to their busy real life schedules. So these will be their first laps on this track from a couple of days. So yeah, this will be quite a refreshing experience, to say the least. So there's only with 30 seconds left before we get going. Quite a short time. And let's see where we end up. It'll be a very good mix of drivers here in session 2. Quite a few skilled drivers. So it'll be an entertaining qualifying for sure. Although, of course, because it is one-shot qualifying, it will be all over the place. We'll try to keep up with what's happening as much as possible. If you do miss out on anything, then do excuse us, please. Qualifying Logesh from the southeast region in that amazing, beautiful car, leading into turn one, followed very closely by Babaji in P2. Never mind, Babaji falling back again. Positions do change quite a bit, but for now, Logesh is looking quite dominant. Moto and Babaji could challenge Logesh to get pole. Logesh fastest in the first sector, of course, he has been leading. Goes a bit wide, that right-hander, and going into the hairpin, takes a lot of the curb. Amazing line through the hairpin. And yeah, going quite cautious. First gear through these corners. No wonder he did look a bit off the pace. I think there's not much grip on there. As you can see, he's dropped back down to P3. Moto from the central region up into P1. Baba G and Logesh fighting it out for P2, 3. Right then, we can see I think Babaji's gotten a pretty bad exit out of the chicane, because he has fallen back down into P8. Streeter, though, he's come back from nowhere up into P4 now. My Dark Knight's in P4. It is still changing. Moto still leading, going into the final 2 corners. Good second last corner and a good last corner as well. Amazing line through there. A very good exit, and I think Moto has secured the pole. He has indeed. Who will get the rest of the positions? So that is the question. Logesh P2, Dark Knight P3, Streeter P4, ABD P5, Babaji P6, Arjun Senapati P7, Biflaro P8, Deepak Raj P9, Turbocharge P10, E-Dog in P11, Purohit Kanesh in P12, Rahul 941 in P13, and King James in P14. Amazing quality there, guys.
Lovely quality, lovely quality.
And I think there's a bit of correction on my side since Rahul did get disqualified. So did King James. So those two swap positions. This is your grid. And yeah, Moto got P1 by over a second. Amazing quality from Moto. Guys.
Oh, the dominance shown by
Alex.
Moto here is. He was. I think Logesh got purple sector 1.
Yep.
I mean, he made up 1 second plus in 2 sectors alone around Monaco. It's a very short lap.
Yeah.
So that was a brilliant lap.
Indeed, was a brilliant lap. And for the sprint race, let's see who wants to take the sprint race out of the two of you. Let me give it to Alex. Let's go through the alphabetical order. Alex, why don't you take us through the sprint race start when we do get started?
All right.
Cool then. So Moto on pole, followed very closely by Logesh and Dark Knight Streeter. Quite a close bunch, the top four. Moto and Logesh, although are tier 1 pace, and Dark Knight and Streeter is actually also tier 1 pace, but Dark Knight is in tier 2. So an amazing performance from Dark Knight for putting it up into P3. And considering that it's Monaco, all they have to do is keep it clean for the whole of first 2 laps, really. And when everything settles down, the gaps start to form. They should be set as long as they do not have damage. I mean, even if they do have damage, it is quite hard to pass, as you saw in the last race. Speaking from experience as well. So yeah, it will be quite hard for them, but it shouldn't be that much of a challenge considering they are quite experienced drivers. And hopefully we'll get a good amount of action going into turn 1 and throughout. Hopefully we can see Logesh and Moto going side by side at least through a couple of corners for multiple laps. Although Logesh is, I believe, on controller, so it might not be as easy for him. But yeah, I think Moto will be looking to capitalize on that.
Yep, hopefully we do see some overtakes. And clean overtakes at that.
Yep, clean overtakes, no dodgy overtakes like the last race, hopefully.
Okay, you seem to be hungover in the last race.
I mean, that's the only race I've driven throughout these events, and yeah, the guys have readied up. 15 more seconds to go. Any last minute adjustments that they've had to make have been done. No more time left. Alex, take us through your first start of your commentary career.
Yes, sir. It's 5 lights and okay, away we go. And Moto is in the lead ahead of Logesh, who is being okay. Streeter's taken P2 round turn 1. Is there any carnage? Okay, so they cut the first. Moto has already pulled out a second and a half over there. Lot of grid changes. ABD in P6. Okay, it's a relatively clean first lap so far. And no one too far behind, everyone within 1-2 seconds of the car ahead.
Look at the gap Moto has pulled out.
Yeah, Moto's got an amazing start.
Such an amazing start he's got.
And yeah, Moto's got an amazing start. There's a bit of action going on behind us. There's yellow flags as well. That is right outside of the hairpin.
I jinxed it.
Nothing too suspicious for now, though we don't see anyone. And
Moto has pulled out 2
knockouts
seconds
from Streeter. Yeah, Moto has pulled out 2 seconds. I think Logesh is struggling with pace on this track. Maybe hasn't practiced much. Can we quickly go on board Streeter? Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Can we go on board Streeter? We can. Thank you. Yeah. By the looks of it, Streeter is also making a few mistakes. But for now, a recap of what happened in lap 1. Streeter got an amazing start. So did Dark Knight. Streeter got past Logesh into turn 1, but I think Logesh squeezed him at this exact wall, and that's why he had to give up the position to Logesh, and he might have damaged. Baba G starting from P6 has gone up into P4. Amazing start for Baba. Dark Knight, unfortunate for him, he's lost on 2 positions. But then again, an overall amazing start for West because they seem to have gained a lot of positions here, and they're still running at third, fourth, and fifth positions. That'll be a solid points grab for West. RB Ferralo as well. Quite a quick driver, and yeah, welcome back to RB Ferralo. I forgot to mention that. Up into P7. Let's see, E-Dog in P14. He's about a second and a half. And the rest of the drivers, as Alex mentioned, they're quite close, within a second or so of each other, although except for a few exceptions who are over 2 seconds of 2 seconds of gap from each other.
Okay, now that the grid has settled up, it's time to hold positions for most of the drivers because overtakes are quite difficult around here.
Overtakes are difficult.
Especially in the wets.
Yep, it is. And of course, one thing that does help, that Streeter having a bit of a love tap with the wall there. Does not seem to have damage. Can we go on the external camera to see if he has damage? And yeah, there you go. That is Codemaster stacks again. There we go. Yeah, for now, it does not seem to have any damage. Although Babaji is closing it, so there might be team orders for Streeter to let Babaji by in hopes of to try and catch up to Logesh. And yeah, 3 laps in, and Motomoto's almost pulled off a 4.5 second gap. What a race Motomoto's having so far.
He's really looking very
can't hear
dominant
you.
today.
Indeed, yeah, Motomoto is dominating.
He's pulled up
today.
4.5 seconds ahead.
Motomoto has.
Yes, he is.
Oof. Amazing pace for
Logesh.
Motomoto.
Okay.
Senna mode.
China mode indeed. Yeah, look at that spray. I mean, especially on this wet track, when the dry line's not
I
there,
really
the
hope
dry
they've
line is
turned the
still not
particles
there.
off.
Yeah, because the spray does get very distracting, very, very distracting. Because the dirty air is already pretty bad on this game, and yeah, there's no dry line yet. That Streeter love tapping the wall yet again.
Peter going
I
wide
don't-
2 laps in a row over there.
Yeah, and then the steam mod is right there. Babaji has been led by Streeter, and now Babaji's goal will be to try and perhaps catch up to Logesh to see if he can get that P2, because of course top 8 do score points in the sprint race. It's just like real life, the point system. For now at
Is
least.
Logesh? No, go ahead.
Go on. Yeah. What I was saying was the point system is just like real life, so top 8 get points. And for now, pretty good race. There's something going on between King James and Purohit Kanish, if we can see that. Can we go on with Purohit? Perhaps he has a wing damage.
Wait, does
So it
Logesh
seems
have
to be
damage?
That's
Moto
what I
is
was going to ask.
Moto's
Maybe
pulling away.
Logesh
He's gone
has
past
some
7.5
damage.
seconds.
Can we go on the external? Does not seem to have damage.
Yeah,
Car seems fine.
I think it could be minor damage. He would have scratched a bit of his end plate, so we can't see that.
Maybe. It's almost an 8-second gap already. Yep, it is an 8-second gap.
Yep, and that is Streeter struggling again, so I think he might let Dark Knight by as well on the straight.
Might be
Question
team
here
orders
is though, will Babaji catch up? What do you guys think? I mean, Babaji's catching up at a rapid pace. There's yellow flags. The second last corner that I think is something between deep. Oh my god, what was that? Did you guys notice that?
The car was ghosted and he went past. I
yeah.
think so, yeah.
I mean, it looked like, although as if Purohit's car just jumped over Deepak's car. That was a bit weird.
As I said earlier, Cody's being Cody's.
Indeed. And I was asking you guys, do you think perhaps Baba could catch up to Logesh and try and pass him, because he has gained a lot of time?
He has gained a lot. He's
On
just
Logesh.
1.2 seconds behind him.
And Logesh is struggling a bit by the obvious
Struggling a
looks
lot,
of it.
yeah.
So, question to the both of you: do you think that perhaps Baba would be able to get past Logesh?
I don't think that's possible.
I mean, he could,
I think you need like
but
I
you
think
need
you
to
need
be
a 4-second delta.
no, no,
Second
you need
Alex
to be
coming
quite
with the
patient.
facts.
You need to be quite patient to overtake over here. Baba has to,
Indeed.
even if Baba closes down, he has to wait for the perfect chance to overtake.
There's
And
just
just
one
Yeah,
lap left.
I mean, even if he does not have the opportunity in this race, he always has the opportunity to get a better start in the try in the next race and try to get past him in turn one, as Motomoto's ahead by now 10 seconds.
I think he'll just hold back and wait. If there's a mistake, I think he'll go for it. But otherwise, I just think he's not going to try anything audacious. He'll secure that
he might just
P3
hold
and try
position.
for it in the race.
Logesh has made a
Yeah.
mistake there, as we just saw wall riding, I guess you could call it. I think he just had a bit of contact with the wall there, so yeah, he is struggling a bit. And yeah, as you said, a very calm and collected driver, quite skillful as well. So he won't be going for any stupid moves, that's for sure. But at one point, he is the kind of driver who does get frustrated and will try and barge his way past. So that is something for Logesh to look out for, as there's only about a lap or so left. As Logesh
Okay.
gets a 3-second
Logesh
time
has got
penalty,
penalty.
all now Baba has to do is keep it clean. Perhaps Streeter can get in it as well if he can pick up the pace, and they can gain a lot more positions on Logesh. And they could try and crowd up Logesh, who is quite a quick driver, especially in the dry.
Indeed. Just one more mistake needed from Logesh, and I think Streeter will be in the 3-second threshold.
Streeter will have to keep up the pace though, because he seems to have had some sort of damage. That's why we could see him earlier about lap 1 or 2. We could see that he was struggling quite a bit with the downforce. I think there's a bit of minor damage on him, and that's why he's struggling. So he's just relying on Logesh making another mistake, as you said, Alex, because if he does make another mistake, he will be in that 3-second threshold.
I think they would just be better off trying letting Dark Knight go, because I think Streeter definitely has some damage. So maybe he can try getting into that 3-second window.
I don't think it's worth right now, because I mean, there's only about half a lap left.
It's very, very, like, what,
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
And the best thing would be just hold on to your positions now. Try to get a better start in the main dry race.
If they manage to crowd Logesh on the first 2 laps, I think they could all 3 of them could definitely get past Logesh. I mean, Baba will be ahead of Logesh. Talking about Dark Knight, Streeter, and ABD here, they could fully get past Logesh if they manage to crowd him. As Moto comes off the final corner, a bit weaving on the straight as he wins sprint race at Monaco with over a 12-second gap. Almost 13
13-second gap and 7 laps.
Oof.
Crazy drive.
I think that just went up to 16 seconds there because of the penalty.
At the end, yes.
Adjusted to 13 seconds. So yeah, that's Baba and P2 after Logesh getting the penalty. Streeter very close. I think if Logesh maybe made another mistake, Streeter would have definitely been in possession. Logesh could have lost another position. Still no bad though. Logesh is still in P3, Street in P4, Dark Knight P5, ABD P6, Ferralo P7, Arjun Senapati P8, James P9, Purohit Kanish P10, Pagraj P11, Turbochuk P12, Rahul P14, and that's E-Dog in P13. Because Rahul did get a 3-second time penalty.
Moto just ran away with it, didn't he, after turn 1?
Yeah, amazing start from Moto. That would have definitely meant that he would be focusing quite a bit. So I think, his hands would be sweaty as well. At cold weather of Delhi. I think, his hands would be cold now. Or perhaps not.
Just as simply said while he was racing. There's literally poo forming in my palms.
It does happen at Monaco, only in Monaco.
Yeah, because there's no place to relax. You have to be focused on every corner. Apart from the start-finish straight, I don't think there's any part of the track where you can relax for a second.
Definitely not. So yeah, Mamu, you'll be taking us to the start of this race.
All right.
What I wanted to say was Monaco is kind of a track where the uh, force feedback really doesn't take, it all out of you. Like, for example, if you run high force feedback generally on your wheel, this is the track where you would kind of turn it down, but not by that much.
Yeah, that's
But
what
yeah,
I did.
that's what
It's
you
quite
did.
tiring. It's quite tiring, yes.
It is. I'd argue that it is more tiring mentally because of the amount of focus you have to put in.
Yeah, it is tiring mentally, but it is also tiring physically because of the amount of turn-ins that you have to do.
Yep. Especially if you're on a wheel, you're turning your whole hand,
Hands
and
around,
that
yes.
does get very, very tiring indeed. Yeah, it is quite a generally tiring race. But if you manage to pull off something good, then it is worth getting tired. It's kind of that track as well.
It is a rewarding track if
And
you get it right.
Yep. High risk, high reward track.
by the way, Moto was the one who gave me the tip to reduce the force feedback.
Hmm. Not a bad tip, let's say.
Yeah, definitely helped.
Indeed. Yeah, another short wait time so that the drivers can switch the setups, because if you have not noticed already, we've gone on to the dries and this race will remain dry. So there will be a few pit stops involved as well
One
in
mandatory.
one mandatory pit stop as well. Yep. So they will have to pit and they'll have to ensure that they can make it to the end. They might do something with the strategy. And Etzel says bad fitness tax. Ironic. But yeah,
Okay.
it's quite an interesting race to say the least. Especially now that they'll have to pit, there could be a lot of strategies going on around
Overcut undercut
where
coming into play. Yes.
undercuts. I think an undercut might be a better option, but if you want to risk it, you could overcut, and then at the end of the day, if the driver behind can't pass, if you don't give them the opportunity despite the cold tires, you will be sorted to keep that position.
All that you have to do at Monaco. Just hold your positions.
Exactly. Regardless of damage or not, just hold the position and you'll be fine.
Keep it clean, hold your position. That's what we discussed. That's what I think everyone else discussed.
And then Eitzel also says Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mamuk Admi sexy. I think we can all agree to that.
We can agree. We can agree.
Yep. And thankfully, we'll be going now in just about a few seconds. Mamuk Admi take over for the start.
Yep, sure. Okay, the grid is set. We've got 2 green lights, 3 green lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go. Moto gets a crazy start as always. Babaji losing a position to Logesh over there. And alright. Streeter at P3. Wait, there's a yellow flag at sector 1 on turn 1. Someone dropped positions.
It's King James.
King James.
Good start from
Moto.
Moto still.
Moto
I
on
don't think Logesh
mediums.
has any damage.
Moto on mediums, Logesh on softs.
That's Dark Knight. Go on for Dark Knight. I think some driver had a Southwest car has damage. I saw a Southwest car having no wing on them. Not sure who it is. I think Dark Knight. Something's happened to Dark Knight here.
Something's happened.
Fallen back down by a lot of positions, but he doesn't have to worry too much since I think every driver gets points in this race. So yeah, it is still points at the end of the day.
If
You finish, that is, yes, thank you for adding that, Alex. If you finish, you do get points. And I know Dark Knight's not the type of guy to give up like that, so he will definitely be trying to fight it back. And that's Deepak Raj again, who's made a mistake. He has lost a few positions now. Dark Knight almost getting squeezed. Deepak goes straight and Dark Knight gets past him.
And it's a big mistake. Oh no.
Wide. I think Deepak Raj has fit and I think he has damage. No front wing at all. the mediums. He'll be looking to finish this race on the mediums. A reminder to the viewers, there is no safety car, so drivers will have to rely on complete pure pace and skill. And that's Babaji going into neutral there. That is something we will be commonly seeing as drivers try to get that extra rotation, as Limitless would say.
That hairpin really catches you out if you go even a little bit wide. You have to take the exit really slowly.
Dark Knight dropped down.
Do we
Dark
see
Knight dropped down
tires?
and made a few positions back.
Dark Knight stepped quite well, and he's still on that recovery. He's trying to get past Turbo Chook very close. Had to completely slam on the brakes there to avoid hitting his rear. And yeah, this is just the beginning. 18 more laps to go.
Okay, Moto Bull 2 seconds away already.
On mediums, that
Yeah,
too.
but a
On
dominant
medium,
race.
yes.
Moto's on a dominant drive here.
He's in his own league.
Indeed, and that is Turbo Chook pitting, so Dark Knight moves up another position. And Dark Knight now has the goal to catch up for about 5 and a bit seconds, because then he can do a bit of team orders to try and get past E-Dog, who's also in the West region. But for now, looking at ABD, who's also held up quite well, right
is
in the
in
rear
top
of
five.
Streeter.
Southeast are in a really good position. You see them in the top 5, at least 2 cars in the top 5 every session.
They do quite well. Do have, as I said, they do have quite skilled drivers on their side. So yeah, it does help them with that. As E-Dog getting close to Purohit Ganesh, and there's more yellow flags. That's for Turbo Chook, and that's right out of the pits. I think that's cold tires stacks.
He has
That's why-
tampering damage as well.
Oh god.
Oh, he has to pit again.
Oh no.
Does he have to
Definitely
pit
has
again?
pit
Yeah,
again.
he has to.
I don't think
Really
he
has to.
will find it worth it.
But then you can't drive with the broken wing on this track. You look tiny.
He's gonna get lapped regardless. If he pits, he's gonna get lapped. If he doesn't
either
pit,
way
he's
he's
gonna
getting
get
lapped.
lapped.
I think
Yeah.
he's just going to bite the
Might
bullet
as well
and
pit and take the risk. Perhaps try and go for the fastest lap, or just pulled out in case somebody DNFs or something. E-Dog getting close there to Purohit Ganesh.
That was a
Okay, there was a left tap.
yes.
It's fine as long as it's a love tap. It is not fine if he
No
completely
damage
passes
caused.
his way through. Yep, and also
Hopefully.
that, so now he's doing fine. The softs really die after about 3-4 laps, so that's ABD hitting the wall there. Can't really blame him as well, as this track is quite hard to drive on the control. Luckily, no damage for him just about yet though.
I think ABD is on the wheel, no?
Yeah, he's on a wheel. He's on a wheel.
He's been on the
Can we
wheel
go
for a
on
while.
the TV cam to check his inputs? Perhaps that can answer the question.
No, he's definitely on
No,
a
he's
wheel.
definitely on the wheel. He's not.
Hold on,
He-
hold on. Okay, yeah, that's a wheel.
Yeah, we've spoken about it. We've got the same wheel.
King James 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Oof.
That's kind of a silly penalty, to be honest.
Yep. I mean, it's quite hard to get a it's quite hard to speed in the pit lane of Monaco.
Yeah.
Because nature of the corner before that is that you would be entering it on lower than 60 kph. I think that someone spun out again from southeast. I think that's Rahul.
Rahul.
Yeah, that is Rahul.
Yes,
And
that
I
is
think that's a whole wing gone. Be a whole wing gone.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is. Southeast, the drivers who are not in the top 5, top 6 do seem to be struggling here. Do you guys, what do you guys think could perhaps be the reason of such?
I don't think they're struggling per se. They have 1, 2, 3 Logesh, ABD and Arjun Sinapati in the top 6.
I said the drivers under top 6.
Okay. They're just cracking under pressure.
We could be. The APD pits first driver to make a pit stop out of strategy and not.
I think he's going for the undercut
Revenge.
because it is
He
lap
is
7.
definitely going for the undercut.
He's
And the
been one
softs
lap
have
early.
definitely died now.
With the amount of
The
steering input
drivers
you have
around
to
him who are. Yeah, sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, no, I was saying the amount of steering input you have to give on this track, definitely the softs won't last much.
Certainly.
ABD
They
has come
will
out in
last
some
on
clean
a
air as well.
He's covered in P10. Bit far behind the rest of the pack. And for
he's
now, he
good.
will be struggling because his tires are cold, so he'll have to wait for them to heat up before he can properly start pushing.
I was saying he's got the clean air, so he won't be really held up by anyone. He can actually try and
That's
make
true.
the undercut work.
Yeah, it could be a good decision as that's Purohit Ganesh who's still struggling. And now it's a Dark Knight's take. Try and get past him. Going side by side.
Oh,
Bit of wheel banging through there. Dark Knight will be pushed off wide. Dark Knight cuts
oh
across the
no,
track.
I
He
think
will
he's
have to
getting
give
an
that back.
illegal.
Give that back. And
Oh
there's a
no.
contact
no, that
between
was.
Dark and Dark Knight.
That's some friendly fire over there.
A friendly fire for sure. Caught on stream as well. Not a good look.
I don't think he has any damage. I think he got away with
Does
it.
not have damage. Luckily, it is a slow speed corner, so it wouldn't have any damage.
I think it is just racing incident. There was no space there for two drivers.
Streeter spit as well. APD, yeah, APD's undercut is definitely working. He's past Streeter. Streeter who's just spit as well onto the mediums.
And he'll have the warmer tires as well.
Yep. APD's strategy actually is going to completely work unless I think he won't be able to cover off someone like Pava or Lokesh because they'll be too far ahead. But the rest he could definitely undercut.
I think it'll be close with Senapati. Arjun Senapati.
Senapati does have a bit of a gap to Baba, so yeah, I think a P5, P4 is definitely on the hands of ABD for now if he can pull off the undercut while making no mistakes.
As long as he keeps it clean.
And
Yeah, the
Lokesh,
4
Arjun,
second of
Senapati both fitting. Going on to the mediums, of course. I think there's a bit of a hold up for Arjun Senapati. That's E-Dog pitting as well, alongside Purohit Ganesh as well. So 4 drivers in total have pit, and APD is quite close to all of them. APD will be very close to Arjun Senapati as well. There might be a Sebastian Vettel moment here, and yeah, I think
He has a chance this lap. This is the only chance he has because Arjun's definitely on very cold tires.
Yeah, but they're both in the same
they're
region,
the same
so
team. That's
yeah, so
Team
there
orders.
could be some team orders for sure. Unless Arjun's not in the same VC as ABD, so he does not know, and he'll be defending for everything he has.
I still don't think he will defend if ABD is catching up to him. I think they have that much sense to let them by.
I mean, he would have let him by already then if that were the case.
I think Arjun is low on years.
He is. Can we look at the telemetry? And if you can go on board Arjun. Yeah,
He's under
struggling
10.
for ERS. I mean, in the wet it's pretty easy to gain the ERS back on this track, but on the dries, next to impossible. Big lag spike there.
I think ABD is not really gaining that much on Arjun. He's fallen down actually.
Isn't there's yellow flags? That is a black car. A lot of black cars on tracks. No, I think that's a blue car. That's definitely a black car. We can't tell who that is. Much further behind. I guess we're not seeing who that is then. Oh, another bit of lag spike there. Arjun Senapati is lagging, so that could be a bit of a threat for ABD, despite both of them being in the same region.
Might lose a lot of time on Dark Knight, but he has to pit, so.
Dark Knight has to pit. I think Ferralo and Dark Knight will have to pit this lap. They're the only soft runners left. Lokesh gets a 3-second time penalty. This could be crucial.
I'm actually surprised by that. I've never seen Lokesh get a penalty. In all my races with him, I don't think he's ever got a penalty.
Monaco is a race of surprises, to be fair.
Yes.
Can't really blame him, can we?
What was Dark Knight and okay.
Dark Knight and Ferraro both have
Okay,
pit.
Dark Knight and Ferraro split.
Last of the pitters, they perhaps shouldn't have stayed out this long. They
Yeah,
would be
I
losing
think.
a lot of positions.
Moto and Babaji still have to pit. They started on mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, look at the gap that they have. They'll comfortably come out ahead of Logesh and the other drivers. With Babaji, it could be close, but yeah, Moto's sorted. He can pit even at the last lap and he'll be fine.
Oh, that gap. I think Logesh's Moto is just going to wait for.
Can we switch to gap to leader and check how much gap Logesh has? Moto.
Must be around 17.2, no?
Change the interval.
27.2.
That should be it. Let's get a proper number here. Yellow flags again in sector 2 out of the hair. Oh, okay.
I think it's G. Yeah.
Leader. 27 seconds! And with Logesh's 3-second time penalty, it is about 30 seconds. Whew. Okay, we can go back to intervals now. Thank you. Then if you could press F2 once. Yeah, a pretty decent battle between these guys, and let's stay on intervals and let's go to tires. Yeah, by the looks of it, Babaji and Moto, what lap you guys reckon they could perhaps pit and still make it at the end while maintaining?
I think lap 13, I think lap
13, 14, they might try to overcut each other. Who knows?
I think Moto is just going to wait for Babaji to pit so he doesn't hold him up.
Yep. I mean, all it takes is for Moto to make one mistake, or, you know, in the pits, especially if, you know, with that late turn and early turn and thing that we have now, he could lose a lot of time in the pits. And if comes out of the pits, if he has cold tires, makes a mistake on those, as Streeter, let's RB Ferraro by. If Moto makes a mistake there, then Babaji will be right there to try and get that position off of him.
Yeah. And he could hold him up, and it could be real trouble with him for Logesh. Oh my god, that was.
King James. Arkwright is so lucky that his car coasted last second.
If it's Codemasters, you can't even trust it will coast.
Exactly. Oof.
He lost it on the exit, I think.
I lost it on the exit there.
Too eager on the throttle, perhaps.
Quite eager on the throttle for sure.
He's still alive, so he'll still score some sort of points.
Yeah, no damage as well. Got away cleanly, luckily.
King James definitely
James
has. Yeah, he's in the pits.
I'm surprised he left.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mainly down to it being reduced damage, reduced. So that's why.
If it was reduced standard as we do in the league, I think that would have game over for him.
Yeah, for sure. Is Babaji finally making the call? So the only driver really left to pit now is Moto, and I think.
Let's see where Babaji comes out.
I think Moto will pit this lap because.
Yeah, he will surely. Okay, Babaji comes out behind Logesh.
He's on softer tires. He's quite far back though.
But then overtaking on this track is quite difficult, so.
But he has a penalty, right? So he just
he has a penalty.
Just needs to catch
3 seconds.
And I apologize for cutting off in the middle there. I'm not sure what happened with my Discord, guys.
I think you disconnected. So
Yep. But yeah, as you guys were discussing, Baba is on soft, so he just has to wait for his tires to heat up, which should be done by about now. All he has to do is stick within the 3 seconds of Logesh. There'll be a guaranteed P2 for him. I mean, he'll definitely be able to catch up. He is on the softs. He's on fresh softs. Be much faster compared to Logesh for, I think, at least till the end. So yeah, it'll not be a difficult task for Babaji to pull off.
Yep, just needs to stay within the 3 second window and he's good to go.
And of course, not making any mistakes is crucial as well.
I think someone needs to go on to Moto's VC and tell him there's no safety car coming out, sir.
This once again reminds me, if you guys remember, the last season's Japan race, where a last-minute safety car motor pit for what seemed to be the wrong tires, and then he just pulled it off. Won by an amazing margin as Purit. Ganesh has retired.
First retirement. I'm surprised it took so long, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Right on the apex, that too.
Okay, so I know what's happened there.
I think he clipped the inside on the entry.
Yeah, he's clipped this exact orange bit right here. And he's
gone
clipped
into
it
the
a
wall.
bit too hard, and yeah, that's why he's lost the tire and he's done. Moto finally pits. He'll come out a large margin. Baba has already pulled in by about a second here. That's, I think, Purohit was a central driver, so yeah, central losing out on a bit of points here.
Definitely. Is there 75% points or is it just to finish?
Whoever finishes gets points.
Points for every finisher.
So you have to cross the line with the checkered flag for you to get the points.
If it was a 75% coming
Does
in.
he have damage?
I don't
think.
Damage. How
No,
is
no,
that
I don't
possible?
think how does he not have damage? Oh my
He
god.
went straight into the wall without any damage.
Migrating host. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, this is no.
Please don't tell me.
No, not now.
I
Oh,
think
no,
I think
it's done.
Sai, you've disconnected. Sai, you've disconnected. Please join back.
I don't think Sai
we
is
are
disconnected. Sai won't have disconnected. He's streaming.
No, that, bro. It is the code.
Oh yeah, sure.
Anyone can disconnect.
Could be Sai.
Could be Sai. Yeah. We apologize for the minor inconvenience that we are having here. Sincerely, we apologize. This was not supposed to happen. Then again, it is Codemasters. Who knows what will happen?
Just Cody things.
They fix something and then they break twice the same amount of things. So you can't really trust Codemasters at all. At this point, they should just sue. F1 should just revoke their license off of Codemasters and EA for making the game and give it to a smaller developer group. Perhaps Kunos, perhaps whoever made R Factor 2. I mean, even they would do a better job than what Codemasters are doing.
Simply sounds like he has a personal grudge against them.
Sure, he's been
I
screwed
hate
many times.
Codemasters. No, luckily I have been lucky enough to not be screwed by EA and Codemasters a lot of times. I haven't experienced many bugs myself. But it's
I have.
frustrating to see as a commentator, as a viewer, and when you're rooting for when you're rooting for the people who are racing, and then stuff like this happens. I mean, luckily right now it's only a disconnect, I believe, Sai, so we're missing out on a few laps, but the fact of the matter is, it's been the same bugs, the same repeat games. It's just ridiculous. I mean, at this point, even esports drivers are complaining about Codemasters. So surely, F1 2023, I believe, has to be the last straw for Codemasters. If they do not fix the general issues in 2023, I think their license has to be revoked, or literally nobody's going to buy the game.
They'll still have demand for the game, even if it's really bugged. It's the only official F1 game, right?
Yeah, I mean, they won't stop the game, but they'll give it to somebody else. People would love that multi-million-dollar deal from, Liberty Media and stuff to get all of that money just to make these games.
They would.
Wouldn't grab that deal. Hopefully not someone, like Activision or something, then that'll be even worse. But yeah. Again,
I really thought EA was a step in the positive direction.
yeah, well, you have your thoughts wrong then, Alex.
Maybe 23, maybe 23.
Fully 23. As again, we apologize for the minor inconvenience of loss.
The telemetry is back.
Telemetry is back, yay! Yeah.
One good thing from Codemasters DSCs.
We again not apologize for that mini code masters rant. We hope that you guys literally clip that and send it, spam it to them on every social media platform. Ensure that they see it. Make it sure that they see it. But yeah, by the looks of it, Babaji has closed in by 3-4 seconds almost.
Oh, he's
And
in him.
Yeah, there are two cars ghosting into each other. Two southeast cars.
Keep it PG,
Alex,
guys. Keep it PG.
you said it the wrong way.
I'm talking to the drivers, not me.
Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, keep it PG, the drivers. Babaji is right there as well. But yeah, I mean, ooh, okay. Ferralo has painted his car yellow instead of gold.
Will there be a reprimand for it?
There will be a reprimand for that, indeed.
Maybe
He
he
won't
hasn't.
put the other.
No, it's not metallic. It's I think glossy finish. That's why it's.
Yeah, it's glossy. It's supposed to be metallic.
Oh yeah.
But the seizure, please, Sai, just one switch. APT's undercut seems to have not worked because he.
I think he got
When
overtaken.
he was
I think he must have made a mistake because there's a 12-second gap between him and Arjun.
Yeah, could be. I mean, he started off P5 and then he's still in P5, so there could have definitely been some sort of mistake there.
He was ahead of Arjun Senapati before the disconnect. I think that's definitely a mistake there.
Certainly.
And look at that. Moto has pulled away 20 seconds from Logesh.
Oh my god.
He's
My
in
God,
the lead
yeah.
of his own.
Yeah, Moto, I mean, dominating the field completely.
Lewis Hamilton
If you're
2020.
P1, if you're on P1, you won't mind a boring race.
Definitely not.
Especially
in
at Monaco. Especially at Monaco.
Yeah, exactly. Monaco, I think, is the only track where people would mind not being close to someone. Because it is much safer and much better to be away from people than to be close to people. As we begin the last lap, Logesh has a 3-second time penalty. Babaji's tires have started to die.
Two
It will be a
tenths,
challenge for Baba and Logesh. Logesh will be the challenge to keep Baba out of that 3 seconds. For Baba will be the challenge to stay within that 3 seconds.
Both ABD and RV Ferraro very low on ERS as their red lights are flashing.
Ferraro has a 4-lap tire advantage though.
It does, but it's Monaco again.
It's Monaco, but that 4-lap more advantage could mean that he will have more grip, so he could try and send it somewhere. As Rahul gets another 3 seconds.
In the end of
I
this, before the chicane is the one chance he has in his.
Oh wait,
at
what?
that exit.
Moto has won.
He's
Didn't
finished the
even
race
realize.
already.
Yeah, he has
God.
20 seconds ahead.
My
Gone
god.
Can he go on board Babaji?
Okay, we're going for Babaji.
I think he will get
that's a
that.
blue flag
He will
car.
get
That's a
that.
blue flag car.
I think he's safe enough. 7
Yeah,
tenths.
he's within the 3-second time window.
Babaji gets speed.
He gains the
Baba,
position.
P3 for Logesh. 4 for Arjun Senapati. But P5 is still on though. Will RB Ferraro send it here?
He
ABD
holds on to
does
the
it.
inside line.
Will ABD make a mistake here though? Will he lose the rear?
Really
Nah.
No, he doesn't.
Good efforts from RB Ferraro.
good
Sure.
race all round. Very
Take a
clean,
P6
just one
at the
DNF.
end.
I am surprised. There were just 2 DNFs throughout both sessions.
Yeah, everyone just sweated TTs, so yeah, it was not really that much of a surprise, frankly speaking. Yeah, that's Dark Knight in P8, E-Dog P9, Rahul P10, Deepak P11, Turbochuk P12, King James P13, and Purat Kanish DNF just after 5 laps.
You can see people have clearly put in a lot of time in this race. Lot of
Yep.
time and effort.
Definitely for the practice, yes.
Quite a lot of efforts, and they have paid off for some, not paid off for some, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it is racing, especially at Monaco. I think
What
it's
happened to
guaranteed.
Deepak? Where did he finish after that stop at the lap?
I think P12? Sai, can we skip past the cutscene? Yep, Deepak finished P11 actually.
No, that's just the result weekend. And if you
Oh,
go on
okay,
to
I
the
guess.
race results, yeah.
We'll have to wait for that. Finn says points haul. Indeed, points haul. Points haul for everyone.
We go on to race results.
Race results, yep.
Super P11. It's
11, yeah. Still P11.
it's not that bad considering
Bad
he's
indeed.
been on those tires. Did he pit again? Oh yeah, he pit twice. Okay.
Yeah, I believe he got damage at some point in the middle. Okay.
Did Moto get fastest lap as well? Oh yeah, he did.
Of course he did.
Thought maybe some of the back markers might go for one last.
How can you be 20 seconds ahead and not get the fastest lap? You have
I
to.
think maybe
Fair enough.
someone
Do
behind
we
would
have
go for
podium interviews? I guess we do. So Moto Babaji and Logesh is who we require. Moto's in, waiting for Babaji and Logesh.
I don't think you'll be able to get a hold of those two, but yeah, we can carry on. With Moto.
Okay, thank you. And SD, if you could stay just for a few
sure.
more minutes. Thank you. So let's just get on with the podium interviews, as the realized has told us that the other drivers will not be available. So Moto, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I mean, what a performance from you. You got pole position in the OSQ. Very dominant, sprint race, and an amazing and an even more dominant 25% race. So, just talk us through all of that. What was happening in your team's VC with your teammates and such?
It was just me and TurboChuck, and it was just as silent as a library, if you will. So nothing much going on in there. But qualifying was going to be a disaster. Actually, I didn't know how much grip there was in turn one. So I turned in very early, and because of that, I almost invalidated. But I had to instantly back out. So I was already like a second down almost everyone out of the first corner. I hit the wall as well on the exit. But then, yeah, I mean, I sort of pushed through and, qualifying. Then, I mean, the lap was finished and it was a pole position lap. So, yeah, it was that. And then sprint and race, I mean, nothing much to talk about. It's got the better start on both occasions. And once you do that, as you know, it's Monaco, a track meant for qualifying, not racing.
Yep.
Just want to reiterate that to all the coordinators. For qualifying again, not for racing. So I mean, I knew that it was over once I was at P1, and I mean, it was just a chill drive from there.
Chill drive indeed. I mean, in the 25% race, in the 20 laps, you and Babaji were on the same. So were you under pressure by Babaji? I mean, of course, he wasn't close to you, but do you think that, if you made any mistakes in the pits or after you pit, if you came out of the pits on the cold tires, if you made a mistake, perhaps Babaji could have tried and, get past you, because at that point you guys were pretty close to each other in terms of pace?
No, I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. If Alex or Mami, if you guys have any questions for Moto, please go ahead.
No, I think you covered it all. That was a very dominant drive, both in the sprint and the race. I think you had like a good part of 13 seconds in the sprint by the end of
Yep.
7 laps.
Yep. Congrats on the victory, Moto.
Yeah, I mean, just to go shows, I mean, how bad my quali lap was. I think my fastest lap in the sprint was quicker. I think maybe, not sure. So
I think your quali was pretty great. I think you were down. I think first sector. That's what I was telling them.
Then the second
Must
and
have
third
lost
sectors.
plus
came back.
plus 1 second in first, and you made
Yeah.
that up in 2 sectors around Monaco, which is really short lap. GG's.
yeah, thanks.
So yeah, that is it for this week. I mean, amazing points haul for Central from Moto side. So congratulations, Moto, and of course Central for that amazing points haul.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty sure Southeast still outscored us because they just
I
have
think
way
there
too
were a
many good
lot of
drivers.
drivers there in the top 10.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's also
I mean,
true.
more than good
I mean,
drivers, it's people who are taking part and available to take
that
part.
is
That is
also
more
there.
important. Yeah, so and probably next season we'll have a note down of the drivers who couldn't make it or had a bit of, like, let's say, were not able to make it in some other reason. So we'll probably have a better split next season. But going
Mhm.
forward, we'll definitely have a look at how the attendance plays a role.
bit of info from the admin here of IRC, but
I
yeah,
think so, yes.
quite a bit of an interesting weekend for sure. Although the racing is not over, we return tomorrow. In for the Assetto Corsa boys, if SD, if you could run us over how the Assetto Corsa uh, event will hold out.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a normal race weekend. No time attacks, no Monaco, no tire frenzy, no, like I said, no gimmicks. So it's going to be a direct 10 or 15-minute quali and 2 30-minute races each. It's going to be a straight shootout to who's going to be the fastest and who's going to be more consistent over the 30 minutes. We're going to be using Mazda MX-5 Cup, which is going to be one of the most stable cars, but of course more difficult to master. And we'll be going around Australian GP, which is quite fast, quite a fast circuit for the car, and it's going to be difficult to go side by side around there. But there are a lot of places to make overtakes as well. So do tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. where the action continues.
Indeed, do tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. to see Assetto Corsa boys take it out and battle it out on that very tricky track as SD has mentioned. But for now, this is it from us and Monaco on the F1 side of things. Do make sure to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notifications if you want to see more of these. And if you want to take part in such events, then do make sure to join our Discord server. The link is on your screen and will also be in the description. This is IRC. Have a great rest of your night and bye bye.
Good night.